I hope everything looks as good as I feel. By the way, you don't see this. This ain't here. If you see something right here, unless I've edited it out, say that 3 times fast. Unless I've edited it out, it don't exist. Listen, I just wanted to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. I'm seeing a lot of people, well, at least for me, I'm seeing a lot of people come out with different modalities of change, or different modalities of how to think and how to get rid of fear, depression, anxiety, and all this stuff, using this man's method, and nobody is giving him the type of exposure that he should have. Now, I do believe that there's nothing new under the sun, but this guy's process is so distinct and so inherent to what he does that I had to come on and talk about it. Now, I discovered this guy about 2-3 years ago. It was right around the time my father passed. I was dealing with a lot. It was the first time I ever dealt with depression or anxiety. First time in my life ever. Real depression and anxiety. This book right here is quite literally a life changer. It's by Morty Lefko. He created the Morty Lefko Institute, the Decision Maker Institute, the Decision Maker Process. And essentially, I am hot. I have to take this off. I promise y'all I ain't flexing, but let me just... Anyway, the question that I want to pose to you is, what if we could live a life truly limitless, without limitations? What if we could live a life that was predicated on the idea that we truthfully are in control of our quality of life? Not in the sense that we can create situations or people at a moment's notice, but we could inherently control what we think and believe about different external situations, environments, people, as it relates to ourselves, to increase our quality of life. See, my life has been entrenched with trying to figure this out, right? I've always tried to figure out how to change some of the things about myself that I don't like. Some of the things that I know are limiting beliefs that push me further away from what it is in life, not only I want, but that I deserve. Right? Even getting online and talking about this stuff, for a while I felt like an imposter. I didn't even want to get on here and talk about this stuff, even though I consume this stuff daily, 24/7. Ask anybody that's in my life that knows me intimately. This is what I do 24/7. I'm trying to crack the code, right? This right here is the crash course on cracking the code. I've got plenty of other books that help supplement, but when it comes to changing yourself in a real way, this right here is what I consider the self-help Bible, right? Now, on this channel, we've kind of taken a pivot, obviously. Like, I want to talk about manifestation, things I've manifested, mind shifts, mindset, success, what I'm doing as far as my businesses, what I'm doing as far as my relationships, what I'm doing as far as like my legacy, right? But you can't do any of this stuff if you don't have a higher perspective, a higher type of self-esteem about yourself, and put yourself in the control seat, in the pilot seat of your life. You see, a lot of times we have situations and things happen to us. I can tell you today, man, check this out. Before I got here, my car would not start. I was at the gym, had a really good workout. I was zoned in. Muscles was feeling good. Body was feeling good. Joints was feeling good. And I got out of the gym. As I walked down the steps, I was looking at my 2004 Toyota Camry, and I was like, man, it feels good to have a Resvani. Some of y'all that don't know, Resvani is like my go-to vehicle. I want that vehicle. That if you've been on my Instagram, you know that's me. That's got my name all over it, right? And I was imagining me walking up to my Resvani, and it felt real. Well, guess what? When I got into the true story, when I got into the car, my car wouldn't start. I didn't notice it at first. I had my earbuds in, and I was listening to some music, and I put it into reverse, and my car slowly started to roll back down the hill that I was parked on at the gym. Well, I discovered that my battery was dead, right? And the first thing that I thought was, see, this is my luck. Like, anytime I'm trying to elevate, this is what happens. And guess what? That's true. If I didn't know better, right? So I took that situation and I realized that in that moment, I can change the meaning of what that situation was to empower myself. The ancients called it transmutation. You can take a base emotion, a base negative emotion, and transmute it into something that's positive that actually serves you. So what did I do in that moment? I took that unfortunate event and I flipped it and I said, man, this is an opportunity to flex my muscle. I ain't talking about lifting. I'm saying this is the opportunity to flex my self-image muscle, to flex what I believe about myself, what I deserve. This is a test, and I'm about to pass it. So it was super simple. I looked around. I was in a parking lot full of cars. Guess what? One of these cars had jumper cables. I just had to find somebody that was connected to the car. Found a guy, his name was Steve, hooked it up. I was on my way, and now I'm here shooting this video. Listen, that's a real anecdotal, arbitrary way of reducing this science down that's in this book. This book right here, I cannot say it enough. This book should be the starting point for anybody that wants to change their life. They even go into talking about how no matter what type of upbringing you give or type of environment you give your children or your child, they're still going to have things that happen to them as they grow that are going to affect what they believe about themselves and how they experience this world, whether negative or positive. This book puts you in the seat to being unlimited. I'm gonna tell you right now, from our media to gossip to news, all that stuff, it is a constant attempt to try to remind you of the lie that you are less than. I'm telling y'all, there's a whole world out there. There's a whole world out there that's bigger than your problems. There's a whole world out there that's bigger than your circumstances. It doesn't matter what you've been through. And I mean everything. The stuff that I've learned, the stuff that I've applied, it has helped me elevate beyond any of my self-limiting beliefs. This should be paramount for everybody going forward, especially with the past 2 years that we've had. So listen, I'm not going to talk too much about it. There's going to be more videos where we talk about this stuff. We're going to talk about manifestation. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about life optimization, all the stuff that I've put into play to allow me to have the house, to allow me to have the life that I deserve. This is life by design. This is how it gets it done. And this is you witnessing it in real time. All right, I'm going to stop talking because my battery's flashing. It's about to die. But check them out, Morty Lefko. Recreate your life, transform yourself and your world with the decision maker process. Put yourself in the driver's seat of your life. Understand your power and use it. Till next time. Peace.
So, recall some negative feeling you've had in the last week or so. Now, for this example right now, please don't pick a particularly intense example. You can learn how to dissolve intense emotions, but for this one, just pick some anger, anxiety, some general upset that you've had in the last week or so. Just recall a time when you've had a negative emotion. Now, the emotion's going to be gone in just a few moments. When you think of the event, the emotion's not going to be there. So get a clear sense of what that emotion is now. Okay, you got it? Now, next question. What happened before the emotion? Somebody did something, somebody said something, something happened. What was the event? Please raise your hand when you've identified the event that came just before the negative feeling. Okay, I think that's just about everybody. Okay, great, thank you. Now, here's the next thing. You got the event, you got the feeling. What was the meaning that came in the middle? What's the meaning you gave the event that caused the feeling? So please raise your hand when you've been able to identify what is the meaning that you gave the event. Okay, I think that's just about everybody. Great. Next, you're doing great. Thank you so much. Next, make a clear distinction between the event, the meaning, and the feeling. See, the event exists in the world. It's what would show up on a video recording. The meaning exists only in your mind. Now, if you're having any difficulty at this point, sometimes it can be difficult to get that the meaning is not inherent in the event. So if it still seems like the meaning's part of the event, here's something you can do that'll help. Give the event a couple of additional meanings. See, there are multiple interpretations, multiple meanings for any event. Just as an example. Imagine your spouse doesn't pick up something at the store. We might unconsciously and automatically give that the meaning, they don't care. That's one possible meaning. Another possible meaning is they do care. They just forgot. Or they do care, but they were busy and planned to pick it up tomorrow. There's many, many meanings. And if you can get that there's more than one meaning for an event, then it's easier to get that the meaning you gave the event came from you and is not inherent in the event.